What's up, Van Dam fam? Hope everybody is fantastic. You know, a bunch of us might be going through an experience together, but individually, we're all experiencing our own experiences based on our reaction of that experience that we're going through. You ever heard this? Life is 10% of what happens to you and 90% of how you react to it. You ever heard that and thought, what a bunch of bullshit? Well, let's think about it. Usually, our experiences are based on our feelings, right? Our feelings about something. So, we can choose that. Now, I don't choose to show my reaction a whole lot. You know, I'm not somebody that's accused of having dramatic emotions. Why? Because emotions interrupt logic. I think that logic always has a place when you're thinking, and the normal process of thought is interrupted when emotion takes over. So, the reason I say this is when you react to something out of emotion, sometimes you make choices and decisions that you wouldn't otherwise make. And if you wouldn't let yourself make those choices until your emotion subsided, then maybe you would be able to understand a little bit more what I'm talking about. Let's say a police officer out of nowhere comes up to you on the sidewalk. Get down on the ground, face down right now. Listen, get down on the ground, stop resisting. You can bet however you're going to choose to react to that is definitely going to affect the outcome of your day. I watch First Amendment auditors all the time. You know, the officer comes up to anybody. Yeah, we got a call, you're being suspicious. You got any ID on you? A lot of times they react by saying, this is my right, unless you suspect me of committing a crime, unless you have reasonable, articulable suspicion that I've committed a crime, am committing a crime, or I'm about to commit a crime, I don't need to give you my ID. Cops don't like that, and a lot of police don't even know that. So how they react is going to affect their day. Sometimes I see videos where they actually arrest somebody for not providing their ID because they don't even know that's a secondary charge. And anyway, then they have a complaint filed against them. Then they have lawsuits. But it's all about how you react to everything. Now, let's say that you get really mad. All right. Let's say that you're one of these. It pisses me off. Well, first off, maybe you need medication. Maybe you need to talk to somebody, a doctor. And I get you're saying, who the fuck am I to say what you need to do? I'm just saying, if you get really angry, it's not healthy. Now, personally, I hardly ever get angry. It does happen sometimes, not very often. Once in a great while. But I always feel bad afterwards. Even if somebody really deserved getting yelled at, afterwards I feel like I lost my cool. And I feel like there's a flaw that I need to work on, personally. Some people go the opposite, and they have pet peeves. Things that just piss them off for no reason, because they want to be mad. Why? They feel like they're entitled to it. Ooh, I hate it when somebody wears sunglasses indoors. Oh, it drives me nuts. That's a choice. you are totally choosing to have that reaction to somebody wearing sunglasses. Right? My pet peeve used to be when someone's turning left in an intersection and they're in front of me and they're waiting for it to clear and they don't pull forward. That's yours. That's pull out into the middle of the intersection. You're going to turn left when it clears. That used to like really get me mad. Like I let it get me mad. I chose that, and I would honk. I would feel like entitled. Like, this is my time. This is my space, and that person isn't driving right. Now the light's gonna turn yellow and then red, and they're gonna be the only ones that be able to go, or they're not even gonna go because they won't pull the fuck out. After a while, I thought like I don't really like being mad. So when that happens, instead of being angry, I just am aware. It makes me aware, and I like that better. You say, hey, that person isn't pulling out into the intersection. Either they're a nervous driver and they're afraid of being in the intersection, or maybe they don't even know that they're supposed to do that. I don't know. So I deal with it like that. And something that that I do that does alter my reaction, if there is something that you would consider bad news, I use sarcasm. Done that for a long time, and it actually does make it fun. Katie's cool with it, we're heading to the airport. We're late, running behind schedule, Oh, sweet. Traffic is jammed. Hopefully there's an accident in our way. We laugh at stuff like that. What else can you do, Oh, sweet, we're getting pulled over, Hopefully he smells marijuana. I do that all the time. And I don't get angry. And then, sometimes it is funny because we're like, yes, all we need now is a flat tire. You can have fun with it. You don't have to. Point is, it is the way that you are reacting that gives you your experience. And you can't control other people's reactions. You can control your reactions and you can control your actions. And that's it. I had something happen where I was trying to film myself being on a comedy tour, right? I had a concussion. It gave me double vision, right? Boom. It lasted for the better part of 2 years, double vision. Luckily, I had a camera rolling, so I made a documentary out of it. Headstrong. Covered the whole thing. Now, I was really hesitant about putting out certain information that would make me seem vulnerable. I'm not one to ever tell somebody when I am hurt. My definition of hurt is different than yours. And I don't like people saying, are you okay? I hope you get better. Just something I'm weird about. What a handsome fellow that guy is. Look at him. I went through this experience and I thought, being a superhero, I don't want people to always look at me as being vulnerable, seeing that I got to go through this stuff. But I did, and I found that it helped a lot of people. And I was very happy to have this movie out, and still am. A lot of positive energy came from it. People saying, wow, dude, you're human just like us, and it's great to see, and there's consequences, boom, boom, boom. I'm genuine. This movie captures that, which is what any documentary about somebody should do. Make you feel like you know that person more than you already knew him. Anyway, I had at least 3 different doctors look at my MRIs, tell me that my brain is fine. There's no sign of CTE, no sign of abnormality whatsoever. I had the vision issue, and I took vision therapy, and eventually strengthened my eyes and was able to pass any eye exam with the normal reaction times and results that anybody would get. Okay, I can't control the reactions that people have from this movie being out. You'd be surprised at how many people I hear talk about me having CTE. There's nothing I can do about their reaction. How they get that from watching this, I don't know. I don't know. But I could shrug my shoulders and just say, hey, I can't control it. But I saw something on YouTube. It was from that What Culture, what Culture, whatever, the interview people. And they talk about me having memory problems. Not true. CTE, not true. And the thing is, I had fans saying, well, I read the comments. This is really sad to hear because he was always, one of my favorites. I'm sorry to see. Don't be sorry, because that's bullshit. That's somebody else's reaction, uneducated reaction. I guess they didn't watch the movie. And basically, people throw the word CTE around for any kind of concussion damage nowadays, which is not. That's like saying if you forget where you have the keys, where you left your keys, you have Alzheimer's. That's just the way it is. When I was like, say, I don't know, 17, 18, maybe 16, in that age group, there was a martial arts studio in Battle Creek, Michigan called the Battle Creek Budokan. They taught karate and see, I told you my memory's good. They taught 3 arts. They taught Kenpo, they taught karate, and they taught, what else did they teach there? I'll be damned. I can't remember what the 3rd art was. Wasn't Taekwondo or Aikido. I think it was Aikido. Karate, Aikido, and Kendo. Battle Creek Budokan. I doubt it's still there. Anyway, one day the instructor is talking to us about the power of the mind. He taught us some really cool ways to meditate and to get perspective on yourself with the universe, how you're just a drop in the bucket. He wanted to demonstrate the power of his mind, so he said, I can concentrate and make myself so heavy that you can't pick me up off the ground. So I'd like to see that, He says, okay. Okay, try it. So, how do you, just grab me around the waist. I said, like this? He said, yeah. I said, wait. Go ahead, try and pick me up. You can't. So I'm behind him. I got my arms around his waist. I picked him up. He said, oh, okay. Well, hold on. Let me try again. I said, oh, okay. Like he's putting energy roots through his feet into the floor, becoming one with the earth so that I can't move him. So I tried again. I grabbed him, and I said, this time, man, let's see. Picked him up and set him down. He said, but I was heavier that time, right? Sure. He said, well, that's just because you're strong. Most people wouldn't be able to lift me. He couldn't control my reaction. And how I reacted to being in that spot obviously had a lot to do with how that lesson was going to go. I don't think anybody was too impressed, probably, with his make myself heavy trick. But, say I would have reacted differently. Because I don't know that I don't believe that that's possible. I mean, I get it. We're all just a big network of energy, a big pool of it. Look under a microscope and you get it. And I love to get into that perspective and frame of mind. How all the senses are that dissipated energy between points. More on that later. Thing is, I wasn't going to believe that I couldn't lift him, though. I believed in my strength more. And so I wasn't going to be convinced if that's what it was going to take. Years later, now I'm 20, I don't know, what is this? I'm in Savannah, Georgia, and I'm, I don't know, let's say somewhere between 25 and 35. At the Gold's Gym there, I would take a martial arts class called Kaju Kenbo. Loved it. Probably my favorite martial art that I took. It's got 5 different arts in it. Kaju, Kenbo, Karate, Judo, Kenpo, Boxing, and Jiu-Jitsu. And anyway, it has like real stuff like Krav Maga where we're punching the temples and fingers in eye sockets when it's appropriate. Sifu Katani was the instructor. Love that guy. I talked to him recently, actually. And he used to let me come in and spar with the students. Also spar with him, actually, more than the students. But I would work out with the students. I didn't learn all the katas and the forms to progress with the belts. Although he tried to make it easy for me. Thank you, Sifu Katani. He even filmed himself going through all of the, downward block, inward block, pivot, punch. And for me to get it down, because I was traveling a lot. And so I could get it down, he could progress me through the belts. Thank you for doing that. It was confusing because it was backwards in the camera. Anyway, Savannah, Gold's Gym. After lifting weights, I would go into Kaju Kenbo class and work out with those guys. And one time, they got some belt progressing going on. I don't know if it's several people or just one, but there's only one that I know about. There's one kid that is trying out for the next belt. Okay, I don't know if it's a yellow belt, blue belt. It's not a black belt or anything, but this kid was advanced enough to where Sifu Katani wanted me to participate with the rest of the class in punching this kid in the stomach. He has his hands behind his back. He's tightening up, and the kids, ja, bah, they're punching him in the stomach, and he's like going down, and I'm like, come on, you really want me to do this? And when I say kid, I don't know how old he is. He might be 20, 21. Anyway, he's still a kid. All right, I'm just saying, it's not like he's asking me to hit a 12-year-old, but still, I can hit very hard. And I'm thinking in my mind about, like, didn't Houdini die, the magician, from getting hit in the stomach? There used to be a trick of his. He could get hit, he would take punches. And he got punched one time, and it fucked up his insides. And he did this trick trying to hold his breath underwater, and he fucking died. Anyway, I'm thinking, dude, if I'm trying to hit this kid as hard as I can, I believe I can damage some organs inside of him. Then what? Then I have a lawsuit, and then it's like Rob Van Dam fucking hit this 20-year-old kid and ruptured his fucking kidneys. What would you do? So, obviously, however I react to being put in this situation is going to really affect the outcome of everything. Definitely of how the night's going to go. And I'm thinking, well, maybe, maybe I can just like just touch him, but make it look like I put a lot into it. Maybe this kid will be smart, and he'll just react in such a way that we can like move on, and he can pass. Cause this kid doesn't want me to hit him as hard as I can, does he? So I'm standing there in front of him. He's got his hands behind his back, and I'm looking at Sifu. Bro, you serious? Like, how hard do you want me to hit him? He's like, that's up to you. Looking at all these kids, looking at me, waiting to see this. And I'm thinking, well, I mean, if I give him a 70% hit so that he's tested, then what? Then he thinks that he could take the hardest punch that Rob Van Dam could throw because I did put something into it? Would it be better to do nothing? Would it be better to just knock the fucking wind out of him? Send him into the wall back there? I didn't really like being put in this position, to be honest with you. I'm above this. The kid, he wants me to do it. He wants to test himself. He wants to be proud of himself. He took the punches from everyone else. He's like, okay, here we go. He's expecting it to be big, right? How big? You want hard as I can hit? There's no fucking way. You want me to pull it back, and then you're not going to know how much I pulled back, and then what? Motherfucker. I'm thinking, do the right thing. Save us both. Any fucking loss of face here. And I wound up, and I went, yeah! Barely touched him. He went, that's it? Oh, wow. That's it. I barely even felt it. Okay. So now what? So now this motherfucker thinks that I hit him hard as I could and he could barely feel it. I didn't want him to tell everybody, right? And I'm looking at the class, how am I going to react to this? I could tell everybody and say, dude, I didn't even, let me get a second shot. Let me get another shot. I know you're going to be an asshole about it. I looked over at Sifu. He was a little disappointed. He knew, but he did want the kid to get tested. He didn't want the kid to get a freebie, And I looked over. Everybody's high-fiving him and stuff. And how am I going to react? He's happy. He passed. Maybe he thinks that that's as hard as I can hit, was to barely move his shirt. But you know what? Who gives a fuck? So I just said, hey, good job. And he got his belt. All right, guys. That's another story for you. Rvdology. Use it. It's good shit. It'll help you in life. Peace out. Have a good day.